Alright you guys, welcome back. I'm so excited for this video because I have some Chip plushie updates. This video I'm going to be talking to you through this next phase. So if you go back in the previous video, I talked to you all about what the Chip plushie is, why we're doing it, and estimated timelines. But now we're a few weeks into it, and so I have some updates for you. Now, the Chip plushie is essentially our way of trying to get a version of Chip to so many of his fans. We have so many of you who have had such positive feedback in regard to this potential Chip plushie. And in this video, we're going to be talking about it. So let's go ahead, oopsies. So let's go ahead and start looking at the initial designs. So these initial designs are based off a few photos that we provided the company of Chip. So the whiskers are attached, but they are like their own material. It's not like it's just embroidered on. In regard to the eyes, we tried to get a very similar eye color, eye shape. And if you look at the stripes on the side of his face, we had a few back and forths about this one, and we think it looks pretty appropriate now. Chip has a few very distinct stripes on his back, on his face, on his paws, on the side and the back of his head, and so we wanted to make sure all those were very specifically highlighted because, you know, one of the biggest reasons for this Chip plushie is to have something that is like a replica collectible version of Chip, something that you just can't get anywhere else. And so we wanted to look as close to Chip as possible. We also made sure that his paws were correct. So in regard to his paws, we made sure that he had his dark brown, dark, almost black toe beans. And the accessory that you see on the Chip plushie is very special to us and very special to Chip. There is a orange collar that Chip wears. And this orange collar has a little bow tie, which I think is so cute for little cats and makes him look kind of gentlemanly and kind of professional. But nevertheless, there is a detachable bow tie collar on the Chip plushie, prototype right now. And it is something where you could have on the Chip or you could take it off the Chip, whatever you prefer, of course, because it is detachable. I thought that'd be so cute because this is Chip's collar, and it's just something that sometimes we just don't have it in the photos that often and in the videos because he actually prefers not wearing a collar within the house. But since this is something, again, that he does wear frequently, I thought it'd be really cute to have on the Chip plushie. So with all that said, I'd love to get to your feedback and comments down below so we could, you know, get your point of view. I've already had multiple fans, multiple friends, and people look at the Chip plushie, give feedback back and forth, and now I need your guys' final approval of this 2D design. Now let's talk about this timeline. In regard to the timeline, we still have a few weeks ahead. So this is still not something that you can buy right away or today. Remember, this is a pre-sale situation, meaning we have to do pre-sales and then it funds the project to go into production. And that does make it kind of difficult for people who, you know, saying, oh, I'll just buy it at Christmas time or oh, I'll buy it for later. With this, it really is you only can buy it during the sale few weeks and then it goes into production and that's it. There's no other time to purchase this Chip plushie. So that's why we want to keep you so informed with the posts and the videos so that you know when the time is that you can get your Chip plushie. But nevertheless, let's talk about timeline. So with the timeline right now, I think we're still about 6 weeks out, and here's why. So we've already talked to them back and forth about these 2D designs, and from now, it takes about 2 weeks for them to create a 3D version. So right now, of course, with the photos, it's a 2D rendering of just the ideas of what it would look like. So they get that 3D version, that one Chip plushie. From there, if it's approved, then they're going to send that to us for, you know, looking at in person. From there, once we have the 3D version, if it's approved, then we have about 2 weeks to make sure that everyone knows that the pre-sale is going to go on. Once it is launched, there's only 3 weeks that you can purchase this Chip plushie, and then it goes into production. So remember, that's how the pre-sale works. You have 3 weeks to buy, and then it goes into production to be made, and then it gets shipped to you. Thankfully, that production to shipped timeline is actually really quick. It's only a few weeks compared to our other previous campaign, which was going to be months. So from now, again, I think if everything goes really smoothly and quickly, we're about 6 weeks out from the Chip plushie potentially being ready for purchase. So if you have any questions, let's start a conversation down in the comments below. And otherwise, I'll see you in the next update video.